In this video, I want to take you through resolving a problem that could arise when you are building maps in Tableau. Let me illustrate what I mean first. So I double click on state. So before I double click, I just wanted to ask you this question. What do you think will happen when I double click on state based on your knowledge so far? Pause the video, take a moment to think, and then click continue. So I double click on state. My expectation is a map will be drawn and the states that are in this data set, right? So let's take a look at what states are there in this data set. So it is Washington, Texas and stuff. So if you remember this view data icon that we saw in the kitchen data source area, the same thing is available here, giving us a preview of the data very quickly. Yeah, this is also quite useful. So let me double click. First, I see a map with nothing marked, right? I don't see any circles like I typically expect to see, but I also see something at the bottom which says 4 unknown. So let me hover my mouse over here. I get a tooltip telling there are 4 values that have unknown geographic location. This is the most common problem you will encounter when you are trying to build a map in Tableau. So Tableau does not recognize your location, right? So what is surprising is here my locations. Let me illustrate another functionality. I right click and then say describe in the field. So you can see some of these things, but it will also give you what's called the value set. Technically it's called domain, but you can just see there are 4 values for the state in this data set, and they are California, Minnesota, Texas, Washington. So why does Tableau not recognize this data set, right? So these are very common locations, and that too also in the US. So am I doing something wrong? So to really understand this, so let's click here. So Tableau is our guide. It's gonna just let's see. So now it is telling us there are 3 ways to handle the problem, right? So it tells you there are 4 values that have unknown geographic locations, as we have seen in the describe box. There are 4 values, yes. So all the 4 values are not recognized. So what do you want to do? So first option, default it is giving is edit location. As you can see, this is highlighted for you. And then it is saying exclude the special values from the view and then show data at default position. So we will use this edit location, but I'll also tell you when to do this filter data. There could be cases, for example, something is misspelled, right? At this point, you could correct this in Tableau, or at least temporarily if you are getting ready for a presentation and then you don't want this data to be, clouding your presentation, you can filter this. This is the least preferred option, show data at the default position, which does not really do anything nice. So let's go into edit locations. So now, so just focus on each of the words that are there. So geographic roles, it is saying country is India. So if you just look to the left, so we have state and city, right? Tableau has already created this nice hierarchy, state and city for us. And then there is no country here. So since I am here in India, my laptop's location is in India, by default Tableau has taken India as the country. Now within India, it is trying to search for basically state, state it is taking from this data set, and then it is finding 4 values, and then within India it's not finding California or Minnesota. Very natural, isn't it? Right? Unless we change the name of the countries, right? So what do? The solution is very simple. We go and point to the right country. So the first option is it is none. The second option is to change it to United States. It's a hard-coded value, meaning we are fixing the value. The other option, if your data set, for example, if you are getting data from multiple countries and your data set does have a field called country or some other name, then you can actually point to that. Tableau can pick it up rather than fixing it. For us, for this sample data set, we are just living in the US. So let's say United States and then just click anywhere. So now you can see it has matched the location very nicely. It is doing this. Yeah. So in case it doesn't match, for example, if there are spelling mistakes and stuff, you can click on one of them, for example, and then you can start typing. So I started typing TE and then it is giving me 3 options: enter a lat long, right? This is the most complicated thing. So if you are a maps guy, you can go to Google Maps and then bring a lat and long. I don't recommend this at all to use. So the other two options are, it lists what Tableau already recognizes. The nice thing about the locations or the mapping in Tableau is almost all the countries are recognized. All the first level organization of the countries, which is states, they are recognized. The second level organization is recognized in most countries. In India, it is called districts. In the United States, and it is called county. In many locations, regions, a lot of it is recognized. What may not be recognized are cities that are very small. So what I have read a few years about, how the cities that have a population of at least 15,000 people or more, something like this is actually recognized by Tableau. You can just do a help search and then find it out. But in most cases, most of the cities are recognized across the world, so you don't have to really worry about whether my city is recognized. Just do a search. The problem what could happen is, for example, when we are translating from another language, for example, we are in Tamil Nadu, our local language here is Tamil. When you are translating from Tamil to English, the name may not be spelled in the same way in English, so you might have to do a little bit of googling to find out alternative spellings and then come and try it out. Yeah, so otherwise this is how it works. It works perfectly most of the time for our needs. When it does not work when you have data which is more granular, like for example zip code, pin code data that Tableau does not recognize for some of the countries, we'll have to do what's called a custom geocoding, which is a much more advanced topic, but you have the ability to precisely specify every single location on the face of this earth. Yeah, so for now I'll select Texas, which is what already it was doing. So what I manually selected, it is actually giving it to me in bold. As I've shown in the earlier video, Tableau does a lot of nice little things to indicate to you what's happening, right? So these are the three things it automatically matches. These are the things. This is the only one thing that we manually matched, right? So let me click on this and then do one more match just to show you how things work. Now this is also in bold, right? At any point, if I've done a mistake, I can click on reset matches to kind of completely get rid of this. But now for now, since we have done some hard work, so let's click OK. So now look at the magic. So what has happened? Tableau has plotted Washington here, very nice. We can see in the tooltip Minnesota here, and then Texas here, and California. Now you can go ahead and plot whatever measure you want on this map.